Taoiseach, in less than a month, COP27 will take place in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. It's kind of hard to believe that it's a year ago almost since Greta Thunberg famously described COP26 as blah, blah, blah. And I just read an article by Naomi Klein describing COP27 as blood, blood, blood. And the reason she does so is because it's taken place in one of the most brutal and repressive regimes in the world, in Egypt, where daily about 60,000 political prisoners face brutal torture by this repressive regime, and many of them have been censored and silenced from even writing letters to their families concerned about the climate crisis. In one case of a famous political prisoner, a letter to his mother about his concerns about 30 million people being displaced in Pakistan by the recent floods was intercepted and censored. So my question to you is that, would you agree with Naomi Klein that this summit is going well beyond greenwashing a polluting state? It is actually greenwashing a police state. And when you meet on Thursday, the 27th of October, will you raise this issue with our Minister, Eamon Ryan, and ensure that the Irish state gives no succour or solace to this COP27 cover-up of the most brutal and repressive and anti-environmental regime that is in that part of the world?
Just to say, this is in relation to Deputy Smith. I think was the first person. Is that right? Yeah, yes. Yeah. In terms of this issue, again, I think there's a dilemma here. In the first instance, the response to climate change has to be global. It has to involve all states, insofar as that's possible. And that includes Egypt, includes many other states whose political systems or whose systems of governance are not what we would obviously be happy with. And we, through the European Union, we consistently raise issues of human rights in respect of what happens within Egypt and indeed in other countries within the Middle East and across Africa and across Asia. So I don't believe COP27 is about greenwashing a police state. I think it's a genuine attempt to follow on COP26, which was far more effective than people would have anticipated, given a year or two earlier you had President Trump in office who didn't agree with any of this. And you actually got a degree of agreement from some of the major states at COP26. We need to continue to build on that. And each member state needs to play its role and play its part. And, I mean, I didn't decide on the location of it, okay?
So can't you voice one as a leader?
It has been decided to be. I'm not going to change that right now. The issue for us is, do we attend or not? It seems to be what you're raising. I think we have to have a voice on the climate issue. I think we made significant contributions at COP26. I think the European Union did. And if anything, it was the European Union and the United States led the charge on climate at COP26. Along with Japan and other countries now, there's potential that we can get better outcomes, Canada in other words. So there was a strong convergence of states, but we need others, and we need to convince others as well. Not just within Europe, but we do need to convert those outside of Europe as well and persuade towards this agenda.